I just would not want to have that level of fame to where I can't even go to Target without thinking someone's gonna come up to me. I could not imagine how like this situation made him feel. Like he probably was sick to his stomach every single day dealing with this and wondering, how it was gonna affect his life, and even just doing day-to-day things like getting gas and go to the grocery store. Like you're always constantly on edge because you feel like everybody's just watching you. But now I feel even more bad for them that they're getting anxiety from this. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back on another video, and we are going to be reacting to this little compilation that someone put together from the 1 hour long podcast that the Try Guys have put out. I'm not gonna lie, I was tempted to react to the whole thing on this channel, but then I'm like, I don't know, because for one, reacting to an hour long video, it's a lot. It takes up a lot of storage. And I just didn't know if I would really be able to do that. But also, I don't know, I mean, an hour, I still would probably go back and listen to the whole podcast for myself, but I figure why not just get the highlights, and talk about some of the things that were like really, really important. But yeah, basically they came up with a podcast episode where they, spoke about the events that took place, and basically they didn't go into detail like I thought they were gonna go. So that's also partly too why I didn't react to the whole hour long podcast, because they didn't go into the details like I wanted. They more so just talked about how it affected everything. And so I'm going to watch this couple. Hopefully it's not heavily edited. I don't really know how this channel goes about putting together compilations, but I cannot stand those channels that will like recap like the Grammys or something like that, and it's like it's so many edits like back to back to back to where you can't even focus on the actual video. So hopefully this is just little clips here and there to showcase some of the highlights of what they said. But yeah, we're gonna hop right into this video.
What happened? It betrayed our trust. Yes, Eugene looked angry, Zach looked sad, and I looked disgusted.
The Try Guys released an hour-long podcast episode since announcing their split with Ned Fulmer. I watched the full video, so you don't have to.
Thank you.
I'll give you the TLDR and the main points that you need to know. It was a candid conversation between Keith and Zach. They talked about what they went through emotionally during this whole scandal. The first thing people noticed was that Eugene was missing, and the guys eventually did address his absence by saying that Eugene simply does not like doing podcasts, and that going forward it'll just be Keith, Zach, and their producer Miles.
And I also want to say, because you might be like, why isn't Eugene here?
And to be very candid, Eugene does not like doing podcasts.
Okay.
I don't think that's a mystery to y'all. He likes doing it every now and then, but we are going to be rebranding the show either this week or next week. It's the Zach and Keith show, baby.
Now, I noticed in the comments, however, fans found that very strange considering the importance of this episode. Some are worried that something else might be going on with Eugene, perhaps his emotional well-being or mental health. Considering the statement video that they recently posted, he seemed very stressed and upset. The guys started from the very beginning, from when they found out about Ned and Alex's affair on Labor Day weekend. That first week was extremely chaotic and busy for them. Keith was on tour with Lou Burger when he found out, and it was especially tough for him because he couldn't talk about it with anyone, and he had to perform and act like everything was fine. They went through all the stages of grief, just like anyone does when they lose someone they loved. Not only were they sad for themselves, they were really sad for the other people who were hurt in the process.
It was fear of our immediate futures and even potentially further futures, both as people and in career thing.
So they found out about Ned and Alex a week before the world did, and every single day from the day they found out, they were anxious about the news breaking. They thought, is today the day? Apparently there were
That's gotta suck to know that there's a potential scandal out there and you don't know when it's gonna hit the news. That's why, like, I always say, like, and yes, I'm a content creator, so I know that, at some point as my audience gets bigger and bigger, more people are going to know about me. But that's why I always say I will value wealth over fame any day. Like, the thought of this many people being familiar with me and knowing about me, that's terrifying. Like I wouldn't want to be Beyonce. I do not want Beyonce's level of fame. Like that level of celebrity just isn't something that I desire to have. But now obviously that fame does come alongside with wealth, and sometimes you can't, not all the time, but a lot of the times when you come into that level of wealth, it is paired with fame. Because some people like to say like, oh, like this is what you chose. I don't. I like to argue that most people don't choose to have the entire world's eyes on them, but they know that in order to be in certain industries or to gain a certain amount of wealth, that they do have to put themselves out there and be subjected to the world's view. But I couldn't imagine being like on this scale and having something like this happen to me, because you are always wondering, okay, like, when is someone gonna leak this? That's even because I think about that too when celebrities file for divorce, because divorce is, like stuff like divorces and marriages and like, that type of paperwork, it's public knowledge. And it's crazy because there are actual people out there who are paid to constantly look for stuff like that. Like, there are people right now that work for blog sites or just, certain companies, and their job is to sit on the internet and Google people's names to see what pops up so they can be the first ones to get the news. And that's why when you see celebrities, getting divorced, getting married, or even if a celebrity went to the hospital, that news gets leaked instantly because people are always looking for it. And it's just, I just would not want to have people up on my business like that.
Had tweeted about seeing Ned and Alex together, but it didn't really gain much attention. And also they had reached out to Will and Ariel to give them a heads up. The guys found a Reddit thread that was gaining some traction, so they were like, okay, it's gonna happen. Everyone is gonna find out. So they warned their friends who are involved to pretty much get ready.
We see that it's getting bigger. At that point, we try to alert parties involved that we think it's about to get really big, and they should be prepared for that. And
that our timeline is now.
And we're making a statement because we have to. We know that something's going to happen, and then Tuesday morning, I mean, it is huge.
And even though they knew their fans would be very shocked and devastated, they didn't expect this news to become as big as it did. Miles asked them to talk about why it took them so long to say anything, and this is what they had to say.
Anytime you say something publicly that puts someone else in a bad light, it is towing the line of defamation. Defamation is a suable offense. You have to really have things in line to legally be able to say some things. Even then, also, you're not just doing things out of fear of legal action. You're doing things out of fear of public backlash to other parties involved. So you're really trying, I don't want people who are hurt to become more hurt. Yeah. I don't want to do something wrong and get sued and further jeopardize the company and people's jobs. It would be the company getting sued. And then the company doesn't have money. And then all the people who work here don't have money. And so it's like there's this big domino effect of making the mistake. So you really have to not make a mistake.
Yeah, like that. And that makes sense. Like they seem to be really, really careful and cautious about what it is that they say publicly, and I completely understand that because like they said, there are legalities that are happening around this whole situation, so I completely understand them being careful with what it is that they're putting out. But I am sure that once the legalities get cleared up, because like they said, there will be more information to come, so I'm pretty sure that once things finally get settled, that's when we can finally hear what actually happened.
They also shared that they couldn't even tell their staff directly due to legal reasons. However, they were able to piece it together, especially with everything that was posted on the internet. Zach talked about his realization of how well drama works in the media. It was something that he learned, and the Try Guys honestly have never gotten this much attention, and now he understands why so many people are in drama. He doesn't ever want to be a part of it again.
Is not interesting to me. And is not what I ever want to be defined as a creative person. Yeah.
Keith also shared that he's never felt this much anxiety before. Even something as simple as going to the grocery store.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just would not want to have that level of fame to where I can't even go to Target without thinking someone's gonna come up to me. And like, listen, but I am by no means anybody's celebrity. Like, I mean, even on campus, when I was on campus, a lot of people like knew who I was, but I was by no means like famous. But I will say, when I was doing my YouTube stuff, I actually had quite a few people come up to me saying, hey, like I watch your videos, or hey, I recognize you. And even that was like, whoa. You know what I mean? And so I could only imagine that from that scale, but also as someone that has anxiety, I could not imagine how like this situation made him feel. Like he probably was sick to his stomach every single day dealing with this and wondering, how it was going to affect his life. And, like they say, even just doing day-to-day things like getting gas and go to the grocery store, like you're always constantly on edge because you feel like everybody's just watching you. So I could only imagine.
Anxiety inducing, and it was a really difficult time for him. Media outlets were reaching out to them aggressively, pressuring them to talk, and when they wouldn't talk to them, they reached out to former ex-BuzzFeed employees. They made it clear that they're going to open up a brand new chapter, and they're leaving the last 8 years of the Try Guys in the past. In the very last portion of the podcast, they addressed some rumors. One, did the Try Guys coordinate their Instagram responses with Ned? No, they did not. They believe that he copied the exact font that they used.
When I saw that, I'm like, you got to choose the same font
Oh.
that made it look like we wrote your guy. Come on, man.
It's my opinion that was on purpose. that was to
Ned
optimized result for him.
Ned is trash, bro.
2. Will they be removing Ned portions from previous
No.
videos that are already posted on YouTube? No,
I can't
however,
answer
they
that
did
one.
make a few videos private that they felt was very insensitive to the other parties involved. 3, and this is a very juicy question, one that I personally wanted to know. If this news were never made public, would Ned still be here? And their answer was no.
And I believe it.
What happened? It betrayed our trust, and
It was a workplace violation.
It was a workplace
And that's
violation. It would mean to all the people in our office who knew what they knew, they would know that we were in the face of everything, like not being true to who we say we are and our
Yeah.
values. So, like, very simply, he would have been removed. It would not have been this public spectacle. We probably would have tried to avoid that for the sake of the other people involved. But it happened how it happened.
Last question, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering this as well. Will there be a new Try Guy? And their answer was no. They feel like it's not fair to put that much pressure onto anyone. So instead of replacing Ned, they're going to have many different kinds of guests.
Okay.
We will have new people that come in and out. We obviously already have our buddy Quasi, who we love. But
Yeah, a lot of people were vouching for him to be the new Try Guy. Honestly, I was low-key here for it. And it's funny because they have put out a tweet of them hinting that they were going to work with him on a new video. So everybody was like, oh my God, is he going to be the new Try Guy? But as you guys can see, they're not going to be bringing in another Try Guy, which makes complete sense. I think that's just... There's no need. I think the Try Guys are good with just their core 3. And like they said, they can rotate different guests and things like that.
I don't want to put the pressure on anyone to say, this is the new Try Guy and he is the replacement. That's
Yeah.
not fair to them.
Those were the main points that you need to know if you didn't feel like watching their hour-long video. After watching this, I felt like they were really ready to close this chapter, and I honestly think most people are going to feel the same way. There's really not much else to say or address. I feel like they've said everything that they could. How are you guys feeling about this?
I mean, yeah, again, I love the way that they're handling this. And like I said, it's a new chapter, and it sucks. It's unfortunate. But now I feel even more bad for them that, they're getting anxiety from this, and that they, it's a lot to handle. And the fact that they've never gotten this much attention on them before. And of course, it had to be because of drama. And that's usually how it is. A lot of the times when people have an insane amount of attention on them, it's 9 times out of 10 not for anything good or, positive. And so, yeah, I mean, that part's unfortunate. But I also think they probably potentially gained a lot more fans from the situation because of how they're handling it. And so, kudos to them. Again, if anything else comes out about this whole situation, if Ned puts out a video, whatever the case may be, I'll react to it. But yeah, it's sad. This whole situation just is sad and unfortunate. But I will be watching the hour-long podcast on my own time to see if there's anything else that I missed. But yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Why it's so